Imagine being stalked in your own home by something that's causing you to have dreams, and you waking up in places that you're dreaming about or places that aren't your bed. Well, that is what tonight's true scary story is about. Tonight's submitter did tell me I could use her real name, and her real name is Jessie. This all happened back in 2016 when Jessie and her family moved into a 2-story house with her grandmother. Jessie's grandmother had told her that her husband had passed away in that house that they were living in, which was normal to Jessie because she had lived in houses like this before. One night, she was awoken by a strange noise. It sounded like a cane clicking across a wooden floor. But Jessie pays no mind to it because she figures that it's just her grandmother's husband's spirit. So the next day, she asks her grandmother, "Did your husband have a cane?" Which her reply was no. He only ever had an old wooden rocking chair that he would sit in, and from time to time, her grandmother would hear creaking of that wooden chair. But one night, it got louder, almost as if the chair was in her room. This freaked her out a little bit, so the next day she tells her grandmother, and her grandmother tells her, "It's okay, I've heard it too." That night, she has a dream. At least she thought it was a dream. There was a tall bookcase built into the wall where the stairs were, but there was a hidden door. She opened it. It was dark. It seemed to lead where the vent was that led to the living room. She went inside it because she felt like something was telling her to go inside of it. But then she had this strange feeling when she went inside, so she went back out again, and that is when she heard the cane again. Then she realized something. She was awake. She was standing there by the bookcase, awake. And that's when she saw it. A figure, a shadowy figure, peeking around the corner. It was tall and lanky with a grin ear to ear, a whitish yellow color. Its head was bigger than its body. It had long, lanky fingers and red, glowing eyes. It beckoned for her to come to it. This is what she said that it looked like. And then she walked back to her room, thinking to herself, she's never sleptwalked before. The next day, she told her grandmother. Her grandmother again told her not to worry. She tells her, "You're probably just dreaming. It's probably just a nightmare." But then when her cousin tells her that the same thing happened to her, then she got scared because she explained it the same way that it had happened to her. She said that it had also motioned for it to come towards her, and she also did not. The next day, they heard whispering coming from their room. It was beckoning for them to come to it.
Come here. Come here.
They ignored it. Later on, they were watching a show, and then they see it again, beckoning for them to come to it. Again, the same creature. So they ignored it again. Well, the next day, they go throughout their day, and then they go to sleep. Well, that night, they hear the whispering again, calling for them, and then the rocking chair. But there was no rocking chair in the living room anymore. Their parents and grandmother had put it in the shed to make room for a new couch. For a while, they went on with no incident. They thought that maybe this thing was attached to the chair and went into the shed with the chair, until one day, their dog starts barking at the window. And what do they see? They see that thing again. Its glowing red eyes, its long, skinny fingers. And then it comes inside of the house. At this point, they are terrified. And Jessie tells it, "You are not welcome in our home." And it ends up leaving for a few days until they go on vacation. They have a nice time together on vacation. They get back. They walk through their door. The whole house is destroyed. But every door and every window was locked. Her and her cousin looked at each other in pure shock. They were sure they knew what it was. That night, Jessie had the same dream as before, except for this time it was a little altered. There was a little girl in it. She was dressed in white and wearing bloody shoes. Her hair was nappy and covering her face. She stood there and pointed to the corner of Jessie's room. Jessie tried to wake her cousin, but for some reason she wasn't there when she was sure that she had went to bed. She ran downstairs and tried to wake up her grandmother, but when she tried to speak to her grandmother, it was as if she couldn't hear her. Her grandmother was a light sleeper, so she was sure that her grandmother would have woken up. Then she hears it. The cane in the rocking chair. This time it got louder. She tried to run back upstairs, but the figure was right at the end of the stairs, right where the first stair was. She started walking backwards, tripping over an object that wasn't even there. She tried to yell for somebody, but it wasn't working. Then her whole body got numb, and she tried to yell again. Still nothing. Then she saw it, the little girl again, pointing at the figure, almost as if she was trying to warn her. But when she looked, it was gone. She heard her dog barking again, but she still couldn't move. Her grandmother woke up because she heard the dog barking. She just ran past Jessie as if she wasn't even there. She was finally able to get back up and run to her room, but she couldn't get in. She tried banging on her bedroom door, but no sound was coming from her banging on the door. She ran back downstairs to see if anybody was there and could see her. It was almost as if she was in an out-of-body situation. She was honestly terrified because no one could hear her or see her. Then suddenly, she wakes up. She's in her backyard though, so she runs back inside, and that's when she sees it, the figure sitting on the couch, motioning for her to come to it. She gets this feeling like she has to look down, because every time she looks at it, it makes her feel so uncomfortable. So she looks down, she keeps her head down, and she starts walking. She finally gets to her room, but then her dog starts to growl. She then realized her cousin was out of bed. But then she looked over at her cousin's bed. She wasn't out of bed. She was asleep in her bed. Whatever was mimicking her cousin looked at her and said, "Come inside. I have to show you something." She was not coming there. Whatever this thing wanted her to do, she was not doing it. She got scared and she jumped in bed. She laid down. She tried to go to sleep, but she couldn't. Finally, after some time, she falls asleep. She woke up the next morning and told her grandmother what had happened, but she looked at her as if she didn't know what she was talking about. In fact, her grandmother doesn't even remember her telling her about the story the night before. So Jessie told her mom's friend who is a medium, and she told her that there's some type of negative energy in that house. Other than that, she wasn't really sure what to say to her and her cousin. They're still in shock of what this could have been. Why did Jessie have these dreams and wake up in the places she was having these dreams, or in her backyard? What was this? She doesn't know how to make sense of it all. Were they really dreams, or was she astral projecting? What was going on here? She wants to know. So what do you guys think was going on here? I think the craziest part is that she was watching everything that was going on in her house while it was going on, but she was like out of her body watching it because no one could see her or hear her. I can imagine that feeling, and it must be so terrifying. It sounds like astral projection to me. What do you guys think? And I have heard that sometimes you can get stuck in an astral projection that is either demonic or has evil entities that try to attack you during the process. So maybe that's what was going on here. I just hope she's okay now. And I'm so sorry that this happened to you, Jessie. That sounds so terrifying. You didn't tell me whether this was the end of it or not, or whether you saw this again, but I'm hoping that it was the last of it. And she also wants to know why it would have attracted itself to the chair. Or maybe because it knew that she knew that her husband had passed in that house, maybe it was just using the chair initially to scare her. That's my thoughts on it. But again, we would like to know your thoughts on it. So drop any thoughts, opinions, or suggestions that you have in the comments. And with that being said, I am now going to do my favorite part, which is the shout outs. My first shout out is going to Brandy Goddard, QP6EN. I hope I pronounced that correctly. You left the nicest comment on my video, on my last video. Thank you so much. That was such a sweet comment, and it truly did make my day. I absolutely love you for that. Thank you. You are such a girl's girl, and I appreciate you more than you could possibly understand. Thank you for being a part of my little community. Thank you for commenting and pushing out my videos, and I can't even tell you how much it means to me. So I love you, and I hope you are having the best day ever. My next one is going to Shamit Karas 4814. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you so much for watching every single one of my videos. That is absolutely amazing. I appreciate your support more than you could possibly understand. Thank you so much. I mean, someone watching all of my videos just makes me so giddy that you like them that much that you would watch every single one. You have no idea. You have no idea. So thank you. I appreciate you being a part of this little community. I appreciate you in general, and I appreciate you commenting and being so sweet. So thank you. I love you. And with that being said, my name is Kaisa, and I tell true scary stories on here every other night that you guys submit to me, and I also do shorts every other night on the nights I don't tell the long scary stories. So if you're into that, hit that subscribe subscribe button so that you can get notified next time I tell a true scary story. By the way, I also take recommendations on top of submissions. So if you would like me to cover anything, you can also always email me or comment and give me your recommendation. And then other than that, I just need you to do 3 things for me. And what are those? I need you to keep sending me your scary stories and your recommendations. I need you to have a safe night. And what's the third one? Say it with me. Have a spooky night. Love you guys so much. See you in the next one. Spooky kisses and haunted hugs.